Last time we saw her, it was a broken back, a neck brace, and a shed load of chocolate. But today, Abbie Eaton is back in the game. Abbie, it's great to see you again without a brace this time. What has happened since our last chat?
So, God, how long has it been? Maybe 3 months or so?
Yes.
I think you saw me within 3 weeks or something. So I'm vertical again.
Good.
I'm not laid down, which is good. Yeah, lots of rehab, lots of kind of training, lots of scans, also lots of rest, and finally able to get back in a car today.
Cool. So I've seen on your Instagram so much time has been spent in the gym. What level did you need to get to where you thought, right, I can get back in a car now?
I think it's more like you know what your body is feeling, and currently I feel good. I feel in good shape. Certainly, kind of each week, and especially when I first came out of the brace, there was pain that I was kind of experienced just purely from my body adjusting to being out of the brace again. And kind of with each week that went past, those little niggles kind of disappeared a little bit, and then something else might hurt, and then that dissipates a little bit. And with the gym work, it's just strengthening my upper back and strengthening all my core that's basically gone to sleep the last 4 months. But yeah, I'm starting to feel probably in the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks really 100% again. So it's okay training in the gym, but actually until you get in a race car and feel what your body says yes and no to in a race car, you don't know where you're at.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to see you out there today. You're testing this Revolution prototype. What is the aim for today's test?
I'm familiarise myself with the car. I've not actually driven it yet, so we're lucky enough to have a race in Zandvoort in a couple of weeks' time. Cool. So familiarise myself with the car, make sure that my body doesn't fall apart, and have some fun.
Okay, so I guess first things first, just go out there and feel what a race car is like again.
Yeah, I think it's the same, like steering wheel and pedals and throttle.
Yep, stop, go.
Yeah, easy.
Cool. So Abbie, first few laps, that looked good from here. How was it for you?
I'm still in one piece, so yeah, really.
Good.
Do it was awesome to get back in car again, and I wasn't worried, and that was the one thing that I kind of, in my head I was excited to get back in, but you kind of wonder whether when you're out there you think, what am I doing? Yeah. But thankfully I didn't, and it was just me kind of pushing as much as I could, and I was laughing with the guys, out there. The car has got power steering, and I kind of had it set on its lowest setting, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty tough. I'll turn it up like 1 or 2, just bed myself in.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, this is still really tough. I'm like, God, I really have lost a lot of muscle over the last 4 months. I'm like, all right, I'll stick with it. Came in and the lad said actually the power steering wasn't working, so okay. I haven't lost as much muscle as I thought.
Okay, so after a day of testing, how do you reckon you're going to feel afterwards? Like, how are your muscles coping just after those first few laps?
So I feel, fine, feel fresh still at the moment, but I think definitely towards the end of the day, if we get some good laps in today, I'll feel it, and that's, any driver that's not been in car for a couple of months is going to feel sore afterwards. But that's part and parcel of, building my race strength again. As I mentioned, it's all right training in the gym as much as you want, but actually until you get into the car, you use different muscles that you can't train in a gym. So I expect to be a little bit sore tomorrow, but nothing that a cup of tea can't solve.
I guess the main thing with racing drivers is that your job is to be able to jump into a car and just get going.
Yeah.
How do you reckon you're going to get on today with this? How long until you're driving flat out?
Pretty quickly, I think, to be honest. It is a little bit kind of damp and greasy on track, so it does dry up fairly quickly here. So I think probably just before lunch we'll be able to crack on flat out. But the car is quite user-friendly. It kind of holds your hand through things a little bit, and you wouldn't think you'd say that about a car that's got like 550 brake, but it's a real pleasure to drive. So I'm excited to drive it some more.
Okay, cool. What's next?
so I think for the rest of the day it's just purely getting some seat time. George, who I'm driving with as well, he's got to get some seat time because obviously the race in 2 weeks at Zandvoort. We need to familiarise ourselves with everything. So
fairly quick turnaround, that.
Yeah. So,
although you have raced at Zandvoort before in W Series.
Yeah, so last year with W Series it was my first time at Zandvoort.
With the new banking.
With the new banking, and I think it's probably my new favourite track. So I'm really excited to go back there in this. And these are, I imagine, are probably going to be a bit quicker around there than the W Series cars as well. So yeah back in and get going pretty quickly.
Okay, let's crack on. Abbie, that looked pretty good. On a level of 1 to 10, how much yeet were you giving it there?
I'm probably going to go with like an 8, a 7 or an 8. I've got some other testing this week, so I don't want to do myself in on the first day. But I was certainly, pushing the limits and finding what the car can do. But I think definitely when we get to Zandvoort, it's going to be another level again.
Good. Well, that'll be your first race of the year, and I know the race season has annoyingly kind of just started without you. What is your whole plan with this year?
Obviously, W Series have announced their kind of grid lineup for 2022.
Sure.
Currently, there's only 17 out of the 18 drivers that have been announced. So that last little spot, I'm not sure 100% what's going on with it, but I'm basically doing as much running as I can in the Revolution. I've got a test day in an F3 car at the end of the week, and I'm going to hopefully put my case forward to try and get that last seat for W Series. So. All the effort that I've done, with getting better has been to try and do W Series again. So that's my main focus for now. Okay,
and on top of W Series and the race you're doing in this, are you just looking to try and get as many seats as possible this year?
Yeah, pretty much. I'd love to get back in a GT car again because I love it. The guy that I was racing with last year and the year before with the Lambo and stuff, I know he's got a new Ferrari challenge car, so potentially some stuff with that, and maybe my dad's Holden for a couple of races too.
Yes, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So this whole situation has come about because of sausage curbs. Has there been any news on what's happening there? Have some been removed?
I think it's probably case by case. Certain race meetings, certain tracks, I think some people do end up removing the sausage curbs.
Yeah.
And I definitely, after my incident the following morning, obviously after the second guy broke his back, they did actually end up removing some of the curbs for the F1 race.
Sure.
So we might see a little bit more kind of specific use of them. I would be disappointed if we went to COTA and they were still there. But I think, there's definitely a push for safety that you can see maybe sparked from the incident. So fingers crossed they get removed and, something better gets put in their place.
Okay, well, we had to bribe you to make sure that we got the exclusive film to film you here in your first time back in a race car. The bribe was a little dinosaur which had a little planted pot in the middle of it.
Yeah.
What's happened to it since then?
It's straight in the bin.
No.
No, I'm kidding. It's actually my mum's because
Okay,
I do not trust myself looking after a plant because I'm never there to blooming water the thing. So it's living at mum and dad's and they're taking great care of it next to the TV. And actually, an update, Skybox. So remember there was a big uproar about my Sky remote from your previous video.
Sure.
I finally convinced my mum and dad to get an updated Sky.
There you go.
There you go for the people out there that were so concerned about my mum and dad's ancient Skybox. I've got them into this real world again.
There you go. That's the impact of the internet there.
It's the most important part of this video.
Well, Abbie, it's been great seeing you back out on track and I cannot wish you enough luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
It has been fantastic seeing Abbie back out on track today. If you guys follow her on Instagram, you will see how hard she's been working in the gym to get herself physically capable to get back in that seat. And also, I imagine if racing is your profession, this whole series of events must have been pretty tough on the old noggin for her to just have to sit on the sofa in that neck brace and watch the racing happening without her. So fair play to Abbie. Hopefully this is just the start of a big season for Abbie, and I reckon 2022 is the year that Abbie strikes back.